Hey y'all, welcome to another speed build. Today we are building for my save file, which is slowly but surely coming along. I think I've been working on this for at least 6 months, maybe closer to a year, but hey, it takes a while and I kind of hate building with only base game, which if you didn't know, my save file is only base game, so anyone's going to be able to download it. The individual builds that I'm done already are on the gallery. If you're interested in them, just search the hashtag AliciaSims. But yeah, hopefully this will be a super accessible save file. I'm filling up all of Newcrest with brand new builds and families and probably some community lots once I get around to it, so it's going to be a good time. Subscribe for more videos if you're interested, or just stay posted on my social media or whatever if you're interested in when I will eventually release this save file. Spoiler alert, it is going to take me a long time to finish this because I'm very slow. But anyway, we are building today in this sort of suburban area for my save file. There are 2 other houses already in this area, and there's going to be 3 more. It's sort of like along the right side of Newcrest if you're looking at the map. But anyway, today we are building a home for 2 grandpas raising their granddaughters. So I have made the Sims that are going to live here, and I'll probably post a cast video on my other channel, but I'll just tell you a little bit about them. So Stephen and Walker are the grandparents. They've been together for a long time, since they were really young. They had a daughter, Zoe, and she grew up, and in turn she had her own kids, Finley and Sunny. So those are the granddaughters. They're twins, they're teenaged, and for whatever reason Zoe was unable or didn't want to raise her kids, so the grandparents took them in and Zoe moved out. So she's still alive. She's in the world. I moved her in with the BFF household, which I don't really think they have a bed for her, but I just imagine she could sleep on the couch, and maybe her lifestyle's a little more go with the flow type of vibe. I don't know. So I just imagine she's probably sleeping on their couch or something. But yeah, she does still exist, and she still has a relationship with her kids a little bit. She's just not really living in this house. So the general shape of this house has come together now. I'm just playing around with details, seeing exactly what looks best and stuff like that. If you're wondering right now what I'm doing by adding these rooms and deleting them, I'm just making sure that there's a floor underneath of these roof pieces so that I can add a trim. Because in build mode, if you don't have a floor piece there, you can't add a trim. So just thought that would be a nice detail to add. If it looks a little funny, I think there is an easier way to do it, a more seamless way to do it, but this is easy for me. This is what I know. So I always just add rooms above where I want to trim and then delete the roof and walls but leave the floor, if that makes sense. Anyway, we've got a little garage space off to the left, a couple bump outs there too, and then on the right we've got bump outs as well. And then the front door is sort of sunken in, it's pretty far inward, and it's kind of cozily nested between the bump outs on the left and the bump outs on the right. I thought that was kind of really cute. I am basing this off of not a photo exactly, but just a type of house that I've seen a lot of on Pinterest, as well as in neighborhoods that I lived around growing up. A big focal point of the house is the garage. In a lot of these suburban style homes, especially where I was living, it was the garage was central to the design of the house, if that makes sense. So I thought that would be a nice realistic touch here. Don't worry, I know the back is really ugly right now, and it gets marginally less ugly later, don't worry, but for right now I'm just focusing on the front of the house. I'm making sure that it looks cute and it matches the vibe of the neighborhood more or less. I painted the roof with my favorite roof tiles. I really overuse these, but really they're the only ones that I like. The rest of them I just think are kind of ugly and they're not cute enough. On this one I feel you can really see the shingles, which is key, I think. I don't know. Let me know what you think if you have a favorite roof swatch. But anyway, I'm adding some little terrain paint here in the shape of squiggly blobs. and I'm going to turn those into flower beds. This is one of my favorite ways to landscape. I just outline the shape, like I said, a little squiggly with some terrain paint, and then I go in with some of these base game stones. I size them down as small as they'll go, and I use them to outline the flower beds, the little squiggly shape. And I think that just helps the shape stand out a little bit. It's kind of fun, a little whimsical maybe, and yeah, it's not hard. It is a little tedious because you have to like size down all these stones and you have to place them. And if they're too close to the home and the home's on a foundation, they will like pop up and start floating. So you have to use the tool mod. It's tedious, like I said. So I do cut a lot of it out, but I do leave about half of it in. I leave in one flower bed in the front yard and one in the backyard, if I'm not mistaken. So that should be enough for you to like get the idea of this without getting super bored just watching me place a million stones over and over. So anyway, I went with some low-lying sort of like leafy bushes and flowers, and then these really big round hydrangea bushes, I think they're called. And originally I went with like pink and purple colors, but later I switched it to blue. Since the siding of the house is like sort of a pale yellow, I wanted there to be some blue to sort of help it pop. And that's where my idea for using the blue flowers came from. But then, see, it keeps going. There are levels. But then later on, I don't even like the yellow, so I switch it to brown. This is much, much later in the video. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but later on I do switch the color of the siding, so it's like, why did I even use the blue flowers? But I leave it because I'm not going to change them again. Anyway, that is the story of how the house will end up looking towards the end. Now I'm adding a little stepping stone pathway from the sidewalk to the backyard. I also added another stepping stone pathway from the front door to the sidewalk, but with different stepping stones, more square and more boring. So I don't know, a nice variety of different types of stepping stones. And I made a little makeshift driveway there in the front with a roof piece. And that's not functional, of course, but it looks realistic to me for this type of house that I'm going for. And now we have finally started on the interior. You may have seen some little placeholder furniture already placed down when we came inside the house, if that makes sense. Those were just like to remind me what room was which, because I made the floor plan and then I like left to go do some chores, and I knew that when I came back I wasn't going to remember the plan for the house, so I left like a little couch where I wanted the living room to be and an oven where I wanted the kitchen to be, etc., you know, just so I would remember. So if you were wondering about that, now you know. This here is the living area. It is very traditional. This home has a lot of like black, whites, and grays and a bit of purple. So I thought that was kind of cute because when I made these Sims, one of them likes black and white and the other one likes purple. So I really liked the idea of this home being like a mesh of their two styles, and just like over the years, since they're elders, they've been together for a while. So over the years, they've sort of had a chance to collect things that they both like. Even though their styles are like sort of different, they've been able to find things that fit both of them. And yeah, as time has gone on, their home has just gotten full up with like decor and furniture that fits their style and makes them happy. Anyway, I feel like now would be a pretty good time to tell you a little bit about the couple. So their names are Steven and Walker, like I said, and I'll talk a little bit about Walker right now. This is his office space that we're making. So Walker is more like, I don't know, like sophisticated, I guess, if you will. I don't think that's the right word, but I can't really think of the word right now. He really likes art, music, and writing. So this is his writing space. I made sure to give him a notebook. Later on, I come and add a typewriter as well because I thought that was a nice touch. But yeah, he also has an easel later on that I add, and he's more into things like that. The reason that his workspace is here under the stairs and not like in its own office space is because he gave up his office space for the girls when they started going to school and needed somewhere to study. He thought, you know, let me give the nice office space to my grandkids because I love them so much, and I'll take this sort of like slightly worse office space. Like, he made that sacrifice, if that makes sense. I thought that was like a cute touch. So he doesn't mind having his office right by the front door and having people walk in, I guess, which would drive me crazy. But since it's The Sims, it doesn't really matter. Like, Sims don't get interrupted when they're doing their work on their computers, so I guess it's fine in that way. And now we are working on the kitchen. So I added a little cute dining space with those new base game chairs in an all black swatch, and added some cute little violet flowers on top you might have seen. And the kitchen is very, very black and white. A little bit of gray, very much black and white, and I don't decorate it that much. I don't love the decor options we have for base game, and lately I've been running into some functionality problems when I decorate the kitchens a little too much, when I clutter them up a little too much, I mean. So I figured I'd be a little minimal decorating this kitchen, but if you do download this build, it's up on the gallery. If you do download this build, you know, feel free to add whatever clutter you want. It is totally up to you. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this space. I guess I add like another window and then another just like accent table with some books on it. And oh yeah, there are a lot of books throughout the home, and I figured that's like fair because Walker likes like music and art and reading too. I feel like would go along with that quite a bit. So, oh, and here's that typewriter I was mentioning. So anyway, maybe I'll mention a little bit about Steven now too. He's sort of the opposite of Walker in that he prefers to work with his hands. He's not really into like fine arts that much. He's into whatever Walker's into, of course. He like supports him and stuff, but he's more into handiness, landscaping, fitness even. So when I do get around to doing the garage, you'll see like a woodworking table and stuff like that, and maybe he's the one who landscaped the lawn out here, you know. So yeah, they're kind of different in that way. Like Steven wears cargo pants a lot of the time, and in the summer he wears cargo shorts, but then Walker wears like, I don't know, like more fashion forward stuff, I guess. At least I tried. You know what the base game clothes are like. It can be kind of hard to make a actually cute outfit, but I did my best. So they're kind of like different, but they complement each other in that way. And then this was their bedroom. I started working on it. I gave them a matching set of like a bed frame, a dresser, and 2 side tables that all match and all have the same wood tone. For some reason, I feel like when you're an elder, maybe you've had more chance to like save up, you can get slightly more fancy furniture, and I don't know why, but for some reason I associate matching sets of traditional furniture with elders. I am so sorry if I am perpetuating stereotypes. I am so sorry. Maybe it's just Walker and Steven and not all elders, okay? I'm aware that everybody is different and that I can't just put people in a box. I got in a little bit of heat. I made a few days ago, maybe like a week ago now, a knitting shop where a grandma lived and could like sell all of the things that she knitted. I was super hyped about it. I had just gotten Nifty Knitting at the time, and someone commented that she was like, you know, not everyone who knits is a grandma, right? So I feel like I have to be careful now, but I don't mean any offense at all. And I know that young people can have matching sets of furniture, and I know that old people can have completely not matching sets of furniture. So just to set the record straight. Anyway, we've got an easel now in this bedroom, a couple of guitars, just a bunch of decorations, a mirror, and I did hang up some hanging clothes by the door, but I do have to delete those because when I was playtesting this, the Sims couldn't even get in the room because they were blocking the doorway. So other than that, everything else is the same. And then here we are working on the garage space. So it's unfinished, obviously. I don't know who in the world would have a finished garage. It just seems like totally unnecessary. So I go with this wood paneling that's a little more run down. And yeah, it's just basically got everything in the house that didn't fit anywhere else. So you've got the handiness table, you've got the workout equipment, you've got some like extra art equipment and some storage. I put some shoes and hanging clothes in here with no functionality. They're just supposed to be storage. And then I added a card game table for the family to like sit together and play cards. I thought that was a really cute touch. Like I love the idea of the family sitting in here and like playing cards, like, you know, the granddaughters, the grandparents. It was just really cute to me. So really glad I added that. And then here we are upstairs. So upstairs is basically entirely the granddaughters' terrain, if that makes sense. There are 2 bedrooms, a little Jack and Jill bathroom that connects the 2, and the landing is like an office space that the grandpa let the girls have. But first, right now, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Right now, we're just working on this first bedroom. It belongs to Sunny, and her favorite color is yellow, if you couldn't tell. When I was creating Sunny in Cass, I made sure all of her outfits were like really yellow as well. I feel like we've all met someone who went through a phase where yellow was like their personality trait. I don't know. Let me know if you've experienced that, because I definitely have. But yeah, this is her bedroom, and I just imagined a little bit of storyline, a little bit of lore now. I imagined that the grandpas bought their granddaughters matching sets of furniture as well. So matching bedside tables, bed frame, and dresser. But then Sunny was like, hey, I really love this yellow dresser that I found at like the flea market or something. Can I please get it? And they were like, yeah, of course. And she has this bright yellow dresser now. And then she just went all out with the yellow bedspread, the yellow lamps, and just made her room her own. And she's always loved yellow, so she's like super hyped that her room is all cute now. And Finley, her twin sister, has more of like a blue room. And I just imagine that they both like were super excited to make their rooms their own. So now we're working on Finley's room. Same bed, different Picasso painting. But yeah, it's more blue. And I tried to do the walls like this like teal color because it was the only wallpaper I could find that really properly matched any of the colors from the bed. So yeah, totally different vibe in here. Finley loves art, by the way. I give her an easel in the bedroom in just a second here. And yeah, she takes after her granddad, I guess, because she just like loves painting. So I imagined that Finley, when she got her matching set of furniture and saw Sunny's new room that was all cute and yellow, she asked if she could paint her bed frame blue. And they were like, are you crazy? That is going to be so messy. Like, where are you even going to do that? How is this going to work? Like, and she decided that she would take her bed out to like the lawn and spray paint it blue. And they were like, sure, okay, I guess you can do it. They were a bit apprehensive, but it turned out actually quite nice. And she's like super pleased with her bedroom. It's really artsy and cute, and yeah, everything worked out for the best. So she only uses one of her side tables there by her bed. The other one is over by the armchair that I just placed. And I mean, we've all been there. We've all like been awake at 2 a.m. and just randomly rearranged all the furniture in our room. So I feel like that's pretty realistic. And then up here is the desk space that the girls share, the one that the grandpa let them have. Really, really sweet of him. And yeah, they each have a chair as well. Maybe Finley painted the chairs their favorite colors as well. A little extra art project. She was like coming off the high of painting her bed frame, and she was like, let me paint something else. And she painted these chairs. I'm just making stuff up now. I'm sure you can tell. This was not part of my plan. I'm just like improving, if you will. But yeah, little L-shaped desk. And then I think we're pretty much done and we head out to the backyard. So, oh, have you guys heard of like the most recent leak? It was like a thumbnail was leaked for a new kit. It's like called Simtimates, and it comes with like a bunch of underwear, like a bunch of matching sports bra underwear sets and like robes and stuff. let me know what you think of that. It's definitely real, and I'm also convinced that the Sims team is doing it on purpose now. They're just like leaking stuff left and right on purpose, but I am excited for it, weirdly. Normally I don't like casts, but I feel like it'll be really nice to have some new sports bras for like athletic attire. I don't know. Let me know what you think, because I'm like super hyped. Do you think it's real? I do. I do think it's real, and I think that it is going to be coming very soon, because like why else would they leak it? Anyway, I have now painted the house brown, and I think it is a lot better. It pops a little bit more. Yeah, it's just better. And then in a second I go in and I add some like brick accent walls, which just make it slightly less boring. And I'm really glad that I did that, because it is a bit of a boring exterior. Like, I tried to make it more simple and maybe it backfired and just made it really boring. I don't know. You'll have to let me know what you think. But anyway, just finishing up this stone pathway, adding a little seating area in the backyard. At first I thought I'd use one with an umbrella, but then I switched it. Oh, now I'm adding a little chimney. I guess, yeah, I just really didn't want it to be boring, so I'm adding like some last minute details here. But yeah, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoy making these videos, so it means a lot to me that people for some reason like to watch them. Leave any suggestions if you have any builds that you'd like to see in future. I always love getting new ideas. What else? Oh yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. And if you want to download this build, just search the hashtag AliciaSims on the gallery, and this build should come up. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!